Just ahead on CTV News, lawmakers tackle ways to make Route 210 safer. And a push for a new bill to honor the Bowie couple who passed. Plus,
tonight on CTV News, we will introduce you to a woman celebrating a milestone birthday. I'm Katara Jones. I'll tell you who she is coming up on CTV News.
Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for February 21st. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Bryce Parker. Thanks so much for joining us. A local traffic safety commission focused on improving safety on Maryland's Route 210 met today in Annapolis.
And the group met ahead of a hearing for House Bill 349 that aims to raise fines for speed camera violations on Indian Head Highway. Indian Head Highway, or Maryland 210, has long been considered one of the most dangerous roads in Prince George's County, with an average of 80,000 vehicles traveling it daily. House Bill 349, introduced in Maryland's General Assembly, would increase fines for drivers caught speeding by the highway speed cameras. This bill, backed by supporters from the 210 Traffic Safety Committee, are seeking to change that.
Basically, it's a citation tier level bill that elevates the fine level from a static $40 amount to something that's more commensurate for our days and time, that's going to range from $60 to extremely fast-moving cars of $500.
This change comes after disturbing reports that speed cameras have caught drivers exceeding 170 miles per hour. Michael Leventhal lives adjacent to 210.
The speeds are just outrageous, so you need to have a better fine system.
According to the Maryland Department of Transportation, from 2013 to 2023, there were 47 fatal crashes on this highway, 19 of which involved pedestrians. Opponents of the bill argue that the focus isn't on safety, but rather on generating revenue for the state. However, supporters remain adamant that the bill's goal is clear.
What we're trying to do is save lives. Some people look at this as, money grab or this type of thing. We've heard those types of arguments, but we've lost too many people in terms of fatal accidents. In addition to speed cameras, the bill would also eliminate the expiration date on the authority to place speed monitoring systems along Maryland 210, ensuring the cameras remain in place for the long term. This makes, again, our third attempt at this very same bill, and hopefully this time we will be successful at that.
And the bill now goes to the Motor Vehicle Transportation Subcommittee for a vote and discussion, then sent back to the Environmental and Transportation Committee with recommendations. Then it will go to the full House for a vote.
And Maryland state officials have delayed the budget cuts for the Developmental Disability Administration until this summer. The delay stalled the scheduled $20 million in cuts, which are now set to take effect on July 1st. The cuts will severely impact worker pay and downsize certain programs, prompting experts and disability service recipients in the state to brace for a mass exodus.
And a teenager is in the hospital after a shooting in Chilham yesterday. Officers arrived at the 5800 block of Chilham Gate Road at 6 p.m. They found a teenage girl inside of her home suffering from a gunshot wound. She was transported to a local hospital. Now officers are still working to determine the cause of the shooting.
Definitely, mind-boggling, troubling. And as a police department, we take pride in being able to protect our community. And so, again, we ask if there's someone with information, if they can reach out and contact us, then, please do so. We have some of very great detectives, and we're very confident that they will piece together the evidence as well as gather information so we can bring these people to justice.
The girl is now in stable condition and her injuries are non-life-threatening. Meanwhile, a College Park man is in custody for an armed road rage incident in the county. Maryland State Police arrested 70-year-old Charles Provost and seized a loaded firearm. Now, Provost was connected to an armed road rage incident on Route 1 on Wednesday. He is charged with first and second degree assault, and he is currently waiting for an initial appearance before a district court commissioner.
And a Bowie family is turning grief into action, pushing for new laws after losing loved ones on a pilgrimage to Mecca last summer. 3 members of the Worry family died during last year's Hajj pilgrimage after a tour company failed to provide proper visas, leaving them without food, water, or medical aid in extreme heat. In their memory, a bill sponsored by Delegate Adrian Boafo and Senator Don Guile would require tour companies to register with the state, ensuring transparency and accountability.
So the bill creates a new registry for all approved travel agencies and travel operators through the Maryland Department of Labor, and a $300 registration fee annually. So Maryland consumers can go online and figure out if this agency has been vetted by the Department of Labor. Part of that process is them showing that they have proof of insurance as well. And so that gives some level of certainty about how they're operating their business in the state. Once this bill is passed, is that they'll be able to ensure that they can sue for negligence a business that commits this type of fraud and action.
And the Don't Worry Act honors Al-Haj Dowsey and Haja Worry, whose family says that their loss can help save others. And more Trump administration cuts are on the way as the IRS is set to cut over 6,000 jobs ahead of this year's tax season. Newer hires and workers on probationary periods are more likely to be on the chopping block, a move which experts believe could affect taxpayer compliance. Additionally, experts believe the majority of the layoffs will come in the Small Business Self-Employment Department, which oversees nearly 60 million taxpayers. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Bryce Parker.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come, it's National Heart Health Month, and the local organization is bringing awareness to local residents.
After the break, learn why it's important to stay up to date with the latest research.
We are the nation's largest integrated healthcare system, providing life-changing care to over 9 million veterans.
Our hands are busy. Competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together hand in hand to provide full patient-centered care. Working in state-of-the-art facilities with influential leaders in healthcare, all with a single goal in mind: to help veterans heal, recover, and get their lives back. In a place where everyone plays a part, and where your efforts are truly appreciated. A place so innovative and forward-thinking that we're rebuilding hands, and where even robots lend a hand.
Join hands with us. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at rotary.org/action.
Hi, I'm the Big C. Hey, look at this beautiful couple. I knew as soon as I said that, I was like, don't say it. Don't assume. Did you know more than 2 people die from skin cancer every hour?
Oh, man.
It's a bummer, but the good news is skin cancer is a cancer you can see, so you can go get checked. You can check each other regularly, make it romantic. Turns out I'm a matchmaking mirror. You're welcome. Love might be in the air.
Welcome back. The Maryland Joint Enforcement Task Force on Workplace Fraud uncovered over 5,000 Maryland workers who were misclassified in 2024. Misclassified workers miss out on taxable wages, workplace protection, and other workers' benefits. Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown stated, quote, "Hard-working Marylanders should be paid what they owe," as the audit uncovered $36 million in unreported taxable wages.
And Forbes has named the University of Maryland among America's best large employers. The university ranks #1 in Maryland, #3 among public universities, and #8 overall for education. The annual ranking is based primarily on survey responses from more than 217,000 employees, focusing on factors like compensation, benefits, work-life balance, and overall company culture. Now, this is the second consecutive year that UMD has received this recognition. And February is National Heart Awareness Month, and a local organization that aims to eliminate heart-healthy disparities among Black women is hosting its 10th annual Red Dress Gala. The gala will honor heart and stroke survivors with a red dress fashion show. The two-day event, hosted by Open My Heart Foundation, will feature discussions about health justice. We spoke to the organization's board cardiologist on the importance of spreading awareness in an ever-evolving medical system.
The importance of these events now is that the healthcare system is changing quite a bit. It's a very dynamic change. I mean, almost from month to month, there's something new. And the way that we believe healthcare was delivered, say, in the past, maybe when we were growing up, is different than the way that it's actually being done now. As it relates to African American females, oftentimes their symptoms are misunderstood when seeking care, and there may be predetermined biases that the healthcare system may have, which leads them to be steered in a direction that isn't really toward what their illness is. And that length of time that it takes to figure that out is when the patients are likely suffering more because they're not getting the right care.
Again, it's a two-day event, so if you'd like to attend tomorrow's gala or for more information, go to openmyheartfoundation.org.
And a coalition of nearly 40 states and territories are lobbying the FDA to take swift action against online counterfeit weight loss drug retailers. Counterfeit drugs pose a higher risk of contamination due to their lack of regulation. The coalition includes Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown and all states and territories which border Maryland. And your next carton of eggs is most likely more expensive than a gallon of gas. The bird flu outbreak has caused egg prices to reach a record high around the country. Last month, the average cost of a dozen eggs was $2.52. Today, the price has nearly doubled. Customers may also see restaurants add surcharges to their items that contain eggs, while grocery stores like Trader Joe's and Lidl have placed a limit on the amount of eggs a customer can buy at a time. And still to come on CTV News.
Brittany Aaliyah is back with some cool events you should check out this weekend in What's the Move.
Hey, stick around. What's the Move is up next, and I have some hot events for y'all this upcoming weekend.
We hear the stories of people forced to abandon their home. The stories of people whose dreams have been swept away, or their lives left hanging by a thread. Or whose worlds have been blasted apart. Although the stories repeat themselves, each person's experience is unique as they are. And whether it's care or community that people need, we're here to help them live a new chapter, to embrace what makes them unique, be a lifeline to the most vulnerable.
Out! Up! Everybody out! Come on!
Good job. Under 2 minutes.
Keep your loved ones safe from home fires. Practice a 2-minute drill until it's part of your routine. And test your smoke alarms monthly.
In America, millions of families are facing hunger. After rent and power, I can get groceries. It's sad to say food comes last. Anna from Texas. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
A longtime county resident who's been a pillar in the community celebrates a big birthday. Amanda Fagans of Seat Pleasant turns 100 today.
And CTV's Katera Jones was at the centenarian's birthday party and has more.
For 60 years, Amanda Fagans has been living in Seat Pleasant, but today is her 100th birthday, and family and friends have gathered to honor their beloved centenarian.
I got along with people. I think that is one of the most important things.
This is Amanda Graves Fagans, and today she turned 100. Fagans grew up on a farm in Virginia, growing vegetables and tobacco. But after all these years, she still remembers having to tie tobacco as a child.
And I was the tire. Now, that's something I think is interesting, to be able to tie tobacco on a stick and put it in the barn and it don't fall off. Nothing to it, just do it.
After graduating high school, she moved to Washington, D.C. in 1943 and worked with the U.S. Treasury Department for more than 30 years. She married her high school sweetheart, John Fagans, in 1949, and they were together until he died in 2002.
She is the strong person in the family. She kept my dad going, kept both boys going, and looking out for the friends and the community also.
The Fagans and their 3 sons put down roots in Seat Pleasant back in the 1960s. She spent decades working to better Seat Pleasant and Prince George's County as a whole. Former District 7 County Council member Dorothy Bailey describes Fagans as an active community member in her district.
Well, first of all, Miss Amanda lived in the 7th District, and she was the boss of all of us who lived in the 7th District. If you wanted to get elected to the Prince George's County Council or any other office in the county, you had to run by Amanda Fagans.
The Fagans family says Amanda Fagans is a woman truly dedicated to family and her beloved Seat Pleasant community. Katara Jones, CTV News.
All right, Katira, thanks so much. Now it's time for our Metro Minute. We want to congratulate one Oxon Hill High School student for being one of the recipients of the 24 Maryland's Emerging Scholars Award. He is 1 out of 24 students in Maryland and only 1 from right here in Prince George's. And speaking of scholars, Maryland takes the #2 spot for the most educated states in the nation. According to Wallet Hub's rankings, Maryland is #4 in educational attainment and #2 in quality of education.
Meanwhile, first-time black home buyers have increased by 63% in 2023 compared to our record low of 35% in 2021. According to Zillow, the most affordable cities for black home buyers are St. Louis, Birmingham, Memphis, Detroit, and Baltimore. And if you love burritos from Chipotle, you now have the chance to get a job making them yourself. The company is planning to hire 20,000 new employees just in time for burrito season.
And it's time for our Pet of the Week. Meet Sincere. He's a 3-year-old black and gray terrier mix.
And he has been at the shelter since January 28th. Animal management says Sincere is a little shy and is looking for someone to help bring him out of his shell.
He's a little on the shy side, so I would recommend him to be in more so a quiet environment. If there is kids, I would recommend maybe older children, just because he's a little shy and he needs a little time to get out of his shell. He's a sweet boy. Once he gets out of his shell, he just needs a little bit of time to get used to you. But once he's used to you, he's a very loving boy.
If you would like to adopt Sincere or any of his furry friends, call Animal Management at 301-780-7200. Well, it's Friday, so you know what that means.
If you haven't decided on your plans for the weekend yet, Brittany Aaliyah has a couple ideas on this week's segment of What's the Move.
Hey guys, well, the weekend is finally here, so let's kick it off right with some fun events around the DMV. First up, Shenyun is in town. I've heard this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Now, the company describes it as an extraordinary and beautiful performance that showcases China's ancient, divinely inspired culture, offering a glimpse of heaven. Wow, that sounds pretty interesting. So, what about basketball and a concert all wrapped up into one night? Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, the Wizards are defending home court against the Bucks tonight. But you might want to stick around after the show because the Friday night concert series continues. And y'all, T.I. will be in the building. He's putting on a post-game concert, and if you've never seen Tip perform, oh, you're in for a great show. And staying on the music kick, 5-time Grammy Award winner Layla Hathaway will be at the Strathmore tomorrow. She's hitting the stage at 8 p.m. and bringing you blends of soul, R&B, and jazz, all from her latest album, Van to Black. She is that chick, so make sure you grab your tickets now. Also, Joe Coy will be at the Capital One Arena tomorrow. Now, being as though Joe is one of today's premier stand-up comedians and selling out arenas around the world, his new tour entitled Just Being Coy is simply one you cannot miss. I'm telling you, the man is hilarious. So go check him out tomorrow, Capital One Arena, 8 p.m. And if you're staying in this weekend and you just want something good to watch, tune into the 56th annual NAACP Image Awards airing live on BET at 8 p.m. And one of DC's very own legends, Dave Chappelle, is receiving the NAACP President's Award. Now, Dave is the first comedian to ever receive this honor, and I think it's well deserved. So, congrats, Dave. And wrapping things up, the 31st annual Screen Actors Guild Awards is also airing at 8 p.m. You can check one of Hollywood's biggest nights live streaming on Netflix. So, that's the moves for this weekend. Have a great one, and I'll see you all next week on What's the Move?
Thanks so much, Brittany. I don't know about y'all too, but that was for me because I had no idea what I was doing this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we have some sports that you can watch. So what do you have for us today, Simon?
That's right, guys. We have some great sports topics in store for today. Stay right there, everyone, because coming right up, an inside look on one of the most anticipated events for Maryland athletes, the State Track and Field Championships. Don't go anywhere.
Home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit asiaretirement.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
What's going on, sports fans? It's finally time for your Friday sports page. Now, track and field fans, go ahead and grab a seat because this first story is for you. It was a packed house over at the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex earlier today as the high school state track and field championships took place. Schools from all over Maryland look to represent their schools and show why they're the best of the best. From the high jump to the hurdles, these student athletes look to put on the show. I caught up with some from right here in the county, and they told me how they felt going into today's event.
I feel great, you know, God put me here on this earth. I'm trying to give me this opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to run at states. But, you know, still trying to, you know what I'm saying, PR, find my way in track. But, you know, in all, I'm just glad to be here.
I'm feeling a little nervous, but a little confident at the same time because I know I'm here for a reason, and I'm just ready to perform and just do my best.
It feels good, putting in the work, being able to come here. It's been a while, so it's just we executed, made it here, can't complain.
Getting ready for an event of this caliber takes a lot of preparation. It even requires taking your game to a whole other level if you want to put on a good showing and leave with a medal for your school. And the student athletes told me what they did ahead of today's event to make sure they had the best day they possibly could.
We had regionals on Tuesday, so it was just a bunch of long, slow jogs, stretching, saunas, ice baths, stuff like that.
Practices, they were pretty tough. You know, coach is hard on us, but at the end of the day, he just wants what's best for us. So we try to do what he asks us and stay level-headed, calm-minded. And when it comes to this event, you know, you got to trust your teammates.
Mainly just believing in myself, you know, conversating with my coaches, figuring out how to properly execute the race, knowing everything that I had to do, and yeah, just going in confident.
A big part of making sure you have the best day possible is making sure you had perfect technique. And Riley, Roberts, and Craig all told me what they wanted to tweak in order to be the best version of themselves.
Probably just my start and my touchdown time, like how fast I'm on the ground, stuff like that.
From techniques, you know, we go from sprint drills to work on foot speed to endurance. It's a variety. When it comes to the 4x800 relay, it's not long distance, it's not mid distance, so we just work on everything, try to benefit us.
Well, specifically some things that I have to work on that I know I had to execute right, lifting my knees, making sure I put my arms hard and run all the way through the line, which are some things I'm prepared to do today.
Man, that was a fun event. Meanwhile, wrestling is a sport that can be very hard to succeed in. The level of technique that is required to be a wrestler can take years to perfect. And one move in wrestling that can take a long time to get right is the takedown. A takedown is when a wrestler brings their opponent down to the mat from a standing position. This move is typically worth 3 points during a match. And for all you wrestlers out there that want to perfect their takedown skills, listen up because Eleanor Roosevelt head wrestling coach Cortez Hayes has some advice for you.
There are two forms of a neutral stance, a horse stance or a sugarfoot stance. Most wrestlers like doing the sugarfoot stance, that one of the right leg or left leg is in front, and you want to be head, knee, toe, everything is in line. And when you execute, your back leg is the power leg. You step back, giving the power leg, and then you step forward for the execution.
Hope you guys are taking notes. And wrapping up with sports, the Terps men's basketball team took down Big Ten newcomer USC last night, 88-71. The next opponent will be Michigan State on February 26th.
All right, Simon, thanks so much.
No problem.
Simon, thank you so much. That was an amazing track experience and atmosphere. How much of a head start are you going to need racing some of those kids out there?
Man, I don't need no head start, man. We can race straight up, man. I'm gonna beat them, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be look like Usain Bolt out there, man. It's no issue. There's no issue. But it was definitely a great experience. A lot of intensity. I don't think I saw one smile, no laughter, no none of that. Everybody had a straight face. They meant business today. It was about the short amount of time I was there. It was definitely a great experience. And I'm looking forward to be back next year for sure.
Those athletes were locked in, and now let's lock into our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, we'll have a clear view of the moon and the stars. However, tomorrow is going to be very cloudy with a high of 42. Sunday, the clouds will depart and the sun will come back to shine bright again with a high of 48 and a low of 30. And Monday will be mostly sunny as we'll reach a high of 55 to kick off the work week.
And for our community calendar, the Mount Rainier Arts Commission is accepting applications for a building wrap mural. The building is adjacent to a main road in D.C. and will be viewed by thousands of commuters daily. The artist selected will be awarded $17,000 to complete the project, and the deadline to apply is Monday, February 24th. But for questions or to submit application materials, contact Arts Commission at mountrainiermd.org. And that's all the time we have today for CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you again on Monday. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.